Okay, so this is what I want you to do in your sketchbook. You're going to do linear shading techniques. So we're going to make value scales. So value scales is what we're going to make. Linear shading techniques, value scales. So I want you to make 5 long rectangles like that in your sketchbook. Make 5 of them. Leave a little space in between because we're going to write on underneath them. You can use a ruler if you want to be exact, but you don't have to. You can use a pencil. You don't have to use a pen either. Even though I'm using a pen, you can use a pencil. And 5. Now, with each of these, I want you to separate them into 5. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So separate them into 5 little rectangles. They almost look like squares because I did it like that. Okay, now the first one that we're going to do is going to be hatching. It's called hatching. Hatching. The second one that we're going to do is cross hatching. Cross hatching. The third one is going to be stippling. Stippling. The fourth one is going to be what I call scumbling. Scumbling. Some people call it something else. I call it scumbling. And then the last one is going to be you make up. You make it up. Okay? So, when it comes to value, the more lines, the darker the area looks. So when you do hatching, the lines only go one direction. So for it to look really, really dark, you put the lines really, really, really close to each other. You could do it with the pencil, but you know when you do it with the pen, you don't run the risk of trying to use your fingers to shade. So we're going to try to get out of that habit of rubbing and trying to use our fingers. So the lines are real close together, so that area looks darker. Now we're going to go lighter, so we're going light to dark. So we're going to go over here. I'm going to spread them out a little bit. And spread them out even further. And it doesn't matter which direction you go. You can go up and down. You could go this way. You could go it the other way. As long as all the lines are going one direction. See, now it's a value scale. So if you look at that, that looks like it's light, and it gets a little darker, even more darker, and even darker. Now, cross-hatching is when you've got those lines and you're going two directions and they cross. So, for the real dark one, and then I cross them. That's why it's called cross hatching, because they cross. Now we got to get further apart. Okay, I think I need a couple more in here. Okay, stippling it takes the longest. To me, I love stippled art. Have you seen the dots pictures that are put together with dots? That's what stippling is. If you've got a Sharpie or a marker, it'll be faster to do this than with a pen or a pencil, because we're going to fill this whole area up right here with dots, and it is going to take a little while. So if you've got a Sharpie, it will go much faster. I have no idea where my Sharpie is. Once we do this, then we're going to do these with shapes. So that's our next thing, is I'm going to show you how to do them with shapes. These are just value scales. Now I'm probably going to come in here and fill that up some more. And I want to make sure that this one doesn't have as many as that one, because I want that one to be really dark. Okay, now that does look lighter to darker, doesn't it? Now the scumbling, I remembered what the other one's called. Some people call it scribbling, because you're scribbling. You're doing scribbles. Okay, so scribbling. Actually, I like the scribbling the best. The scribbling is, it looks like texture. Appears to be like a texture. It's real good, like if you're drawing a dog, and you're gonna color in the dog with your pencil. And if you do these little scribbles, scumblings, then it'll look like little curly dog hair. So the closer the lines and the more of them, see these overlap a lot, the darker the area. The further apart and not as many. Makes it appear lighter. There. Now, this last one, you can think about those Zentangles that you did and the different forms of lines. So you could do something like, you could do a bunch of circles and overlap them in this one. Or if you want to do something different in each one, that's fine too, as long as you go lighter to darker. You got a bunch of circles in this one. You could do patterns. There. So value scales lighter to dark, lighter to darker. Okay, so that's what I wanted you to do in your sketchbook.